Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are back at the mighty Berry. Let's see what kind of track we've got. So from the start, over the tabletop, round, over the second tabletop. That's going to be interesting. People are probably going to jump it across there, down the steps. Have to be careful not to overshoot it. Back around, through the S's, down the straight, through a chicane. See the sand coming up. Yeah, so boys, sorry there's been a break in videos. I've not been well in between jobs as well. Just got myself another job, so hopefully it'll all settle down now. We'll get back into some racing. Not sure what kind of weather we're going to have today. But yeah boys, let's do this first run of the Associated. So I'm looking forward to that. Here we go guys, first run of the Associated B74.2. This is basically how I've got it set up. All nice and neat. First time running this car, don't know what to expect. Gonna take me quite a while to get used to it, get it up to speed, but that's basically what we're doing today, just doing a shakedown. So we're gonna jump into practice and see how we get on. And here we go guys, one of the Associated guys just had a look over my car. All's looking good. One thing that I might have to change, well a couple of things I might have to change, is I might have to move that to the second hole, because you tend to get a bit too much oversteer. I kind of like it oversteer, but you want to kind of like dial it in so you get the best speed out of it. And also the rear, because of how slow the shocks reset themselves, you need to either drill them out or get some different kind of pistons in the rear. Talking to one of the Schumacher guys, he was explaining shock oil, it's kind of like all to do with consistency plus the holes. You can't just, if your suspension's too stiff, you can't just simply put thinner oil in. You've kind of like it's got to work in synchrony. Like the hole size has got to associate the oil consistency and stuff like that. So it's all a bit complicated, but we'll get there in the end. So yeah, just about to jump into practice with the four-wheel drive. Can't wait to run this car, it looks so awesome. So yeah, practice soon, just about. There we go, driver's briefing, let's do this. Time to christen this bad boy.
And here we go guys and girls, here's the racers for today's meeting with the four-wheel drive. We've got Adam, number 1, Neil Kenyon 2nd, Paul Hayes 3rd, Kenan Miller 4th, Robert Tias 5th, Stuart Robinson 6th, me 7th, and John Dean 8th. Get on really well with John Dean, proper good laugh, always makes me smile, good fella. So mainly racing against him, everyone else is kind of out our league, so we're gonna fight it out between the two of us, keeping that back of the pack company. Gotta start somewhere boys, the only way is up from here. And here we go, fastest lap, first time running this car. Like I say, it's got a lot of front end on it. We're just braking into the corners, really bringing the speed down. Hopefully once we get the suspension tuned in, which I've just done now as I speak, I've just dialed it in the house, drilled the shocks out 0.1 of a millimetre, so it's got a bit more flow, and change the oil. We'll see how we get on, but yeah, not a bad lap. Still a lot of improvement to make, but yeah, I'm happy with the car so far. So here we go, on to the results. Paul Hayes was quickest with 8 laps and the fastest lap at 29.57. Robert was 2nd with 8 laps and the fastest lap at 30.34. Neil was 3rd with 8 laps and the fastest lap at 29.45. Adam, the guy who bought my Schumacher Cat L1R, was 4th with 8 laps and the fastest lap at 29.70. Stuart Robinson was 5th with 7 laps and a fastest lap at 29.61. I was 6th, surprisingly, with 7 laps and a fastest lap at 30.68. John Dean was 7th with 7 laps and a fastest lap at 35.37. And Kenan was 8th with 3 laps and a fastest lap at 30.70.
So just spoke to the mighty Paul Ward there. What we've done, we've adjusted them back after practice, and what we're going to do, we're also going to raise that up 1 notch as well. Give me a bit less steering, so yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll go into qualifying and see how we get on. Here we go guys, qualifying round 1, let's see how them adjustments to the front end work out. I think the rain's going to be passing.
So here we go, starting grid for qualifying round 1. We've got Adam on pole, Neil second, Paul third, Ken in fourth, Robert in fifth, Stuart sixth, me seventh, and John Dean in eighth. Let's do this. Yeah, so track's a little bit slippy. Some people went to silvers, but I stayed on yellow. So here we go, over the tabletop, sending it far. Nice jumps this car. One thing I noticed about this car is just how good it feels on the brakes. You slam the brakes on and it just stops you in its tracks. So yeah, round we go. Delicately bringing it around the corners, line up for the straight. Gotta keep up with this car in front. Get it a bit wrong in that corner. Get my lines a bit wrong, but there we go. 31, 33 for lap 9. Here we go, onto the results. Paul Hayes was quickest with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.24. Kenan was second with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.10. Neil was third with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.07. Robert was fourth with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.18. Adam was fifth with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.50. Stuart was sixth with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.47. I was seventh with 9 laps and a fastest lap at 31.33. And John Dean was eighth with 8 laps and a fastest lap at 36.67.
And here we go, guys, just like qualifying round 1. Second from bottom. Car's grip rolling a lot, which makes me think the suspension might be a bit too stiff, so we need to get a drill bit on them shock pistons and maybe drill them out a bit. But yeah, room for improvement. And here we go, guys, about to go to qualifying round 2 with the 4-wheel drive. Them adjustments to the front felt a lot better. Still up too much at the front end though. Car's rolling a bit, so it might need to soften up the suspension, so I'm going to work on that this afternoon. Well, I'm going to work on that when I get home. Maybe drill the pistons out a little bit. I'll have to find the setup sheet. Just want to see how slow they come back down. It's not instantaneous. Just need to soften them up a little bit, so we'll drill them holes out. But yep, on to qualifying round 2.
So here we go, quickest lap in qualifying round 2 to send it over the tabletop. Not jumping it as far this time. Nice line through there, nice diagonally cut. Quite decent over that as well. Quite an interesting little feature on this track. Found it quite hard this track, it wasn't as flowing as it usually is. Yeah, so car overturned. One reason I bought this car because of Razor RC, he said it's a lot more beginner friendly. Got to be a smart ass to have a L1R, and a smart ass I am not. But there we go, bring it round for a fastest lap, lap 5 for a 31.03. So here we go, onto the results. Top 3 guys are pretty much dominating. Got Paul Hayes first with 10 laps and a fastest lap 29.43. Kenan second with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.01. Neil third with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.16. Stuart Robertson, impressive result, 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.38. Adam fifth with 9 laps and a fastest lap at 29.83. I was sixth with 9 laps and a fastest lap at 31.03. John Dean seventh with 9 laps and a fastest lap at 34.78. And Robert, who must have had an issue, was 8th with 7 laps and a fastest lap at 30.54. All the doors.
Qualifying round 3. 4-wheel drive. Let's see if we can improve on our lap times. Let's do this.
Here we go. Qualifying round 3. Get it a bit wrong there on the first corner. That car in front of me kind of distracted me, but sending it nice over the tabletop. Nice, getting that nice diagonal line through there. Round we go. This tricky section where it drops down, then you've got to screw it round. Looks like John's retired. John's the guy next to me, John Dean. Raced with him at Pendle a few times. Round we go. This tricky section, want to get the power, get it straight before you open it up. Round we go. Run a bit deep there, let that car pass. It's going to lose me a little tiny fraction of a second. But yeah, lap 8, 32.75. Not a great lap, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Here we go, onto the results. Top 3 pretty much dominating again. Neil was first with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 28.39. Paul was second with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.09. Kenan was third with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 29.29. Robert was fourth with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.22. Adam was fifth with 10 laps and a fastest lap at 30.12. Stuart was 6th with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 30.09. I was 7th with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 32.75. And John Dean, who retired on lap 2, got 2 laps and a fastest lap of 33.44.
And here we go, guys. Well, let's jump into qualifying round 4. The 4-wheel drive associated B74.2. Enjoying this car. Very needs the suspension setting up a bit. I think it's a little bit too stiff. Not absorbing the bumps as much as I would like it to, so we're going to work on that next time. Hopefully I'll be racing at Pendle next Saturday. It's the regional on the Sunday, so if I can get a day off work, I've just started a new job, so I kind of don't know what my schedule is at the moment. So hopefully we're not working Saturday. I can get racing on the Saturday and on the Sunday, but yeah, qualifying round 4 with the 4-wheel drive next.
Yeah, so Pendle, not as grippy as Berry, so hopefully we won't get as much traction rolling, so that's going to be interesting. Fingers crossed we can get the day off work. Around we go, get it that little bit diagonally over there, a bit cautious on that bit. Around we go, down the step, very tricky part of the track. This little bump here, just got to give it a little bit of brake so you're not sending the back end head over heels. Round we go, line it up for the straight, put the power down. One thing I could probably do with doing is dialing my steering back on the servo a little bit so I'm not getting as much steering, but every turn of the wheel you learn something new. And here we go, lap 5 is a 30.91. So here we go, onto the results. Paul Hayes won it with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 29.05. Neil was 2nd with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 28.83. Adam was 3rd with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 30.34. Robert was 4th with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 29.95. I was 5th with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 30.91. Kenan was 6th with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 29.75. John was 7th with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 34.07. And Stuart Robinson, who must have retired, got 6 laps and a fastest lap of 29.66.
And there you go, guys, qualifying round 4 with the 4-wheel drive. Best result yet, I think.
And here we go, here's our starting grid for the 4-wheel drive B final. Got Robert on pole, Adam 2nd, Stuart 3rd, Chris Cherry 4th, me 5th, and John Dean 6th. So this is basically going to be a battle between me and John, unless something drastic happens. Pretty much do or die between me and John, so that'd be good. Kind of like equal pegging, both quite new to 1/10 buggy racing, but you know, every turn of the wheel you learn there's something new. Yeah, we're going to jump straight into it. One thing to note with this, I did try to record the lap times, but unfortunately my laptop shut off halfway through the race, so we was not able to track the positions, but we do get the lap time, so not all is lost. So here we go, onto the race. Let's see how we get on. So starting 2nd from the back. Here we go, cautiously into the first corner. Don't want to collide with everyone. Make up a few positions. We're up to 3rd, but get it wrong. That's going to drop me right down. That John in front, that kind of like almost looks orange on this camera, but I think it's kind of bronzy colour. Yeah, so get it wrong again. Kind of trying too hard. My little Neanderthal brain's not reacting quick enough. Around we go. Try and keep up with this car. That's Chris Cherry in front. That's silly mistakes. John's
Where you going?
Going to Morrison's, I think. Yeah, he gets a taxi back and gets back on the track. So here we go. Lap 1 is a 44.87. Just kind of like learning the car now. Got a clear track around. We're trying to keep John behind, but still trying to push. Find just what the car's capable of and what it's not capable of. But yeah, once we get a bit of practice, we won't be making stupid mistakes like that. I'm also going to Morrison's as well to get myself a can of special brew. Go and sit on a park, drown my sorrows in a can of special brew. Get it from the local offie. And here we go. Lap 2 is a 37.58. Nice diagonal line. Yeah, so it doesn't look like I'm driving as consistently this time, but yeah, you know, considering it's the first meeting with this car, Once we get that suspension dialed in, it's going to make a big difference. It's starting to rein in John a little bit. When you hit the brakes on this car, it just stops. So John's made a bit of a mistake there. So lap 3 is a 31.58. Oh, I get it wrong. See that traction rolling, carrying too much speed into the corner. But yeah, it's good to have someone that you can kind of base your skill level on. Improve as you race each other. These fast guys, you're pretty much getting out the way. Yeah. Nice layer track now, open up the straight. A little bit deep in that corner. We get it around. Oh, nearly roll it, but managed to save it. And again, pushed our luck too much this time. That 4 is a 33.29. John's caught up with me now. The thing is with John, every time he does bad, he turns everything up in his car, which makes it 10 times worse. But some guy was coaching him at the track today and kind of like dialing stuff back, so he started working with his throttle curve and his steering curve. When he first started racing with these changes, he was saying like, oh, the car's not as responsive as it used to be, and he didn't like it, but now he's kind of like getting to grips with it. He done quite well. So yeah, here we go. Lap 5 is a 39.73. See if we can rein in John. That's him there, just going around that corner. Get a bit wrong on that step. So I'm not sure what motor John's running, but I'm running a 6.5 in mine. There we go. You want to take the tight corner on them bumps as well. Take the inside line over the tabletop. Lap 6 is a 31.69. Wheeled him right in now. Gets it a bit wrong. I managed to get past. He's back. Got getting lapped now. There we go. So I think this car behind me is the leader. I'm gonna let him through but not slow myself down. Lap 7 is a 31.71. Nice few lines there. Pulling away. John at least. Not sure if anyone's retired, don't think anyone has. A bit wide on that corner. Get it wrong. Let the two leaders through. 4-wheel drive guys take themselves pretty seriously. And we go. Don't want to cause any tantrums on the rostrum. And we go. Get this last lap done. There's the buzzer. Guys in front, I think they're fighting for the lead. Oh, he gets it wrong. Nice to see, that's what the line you want to take a bit tighter. There we go, lap 9 is a 31.61. There's John finishing. So on to the result. Adam won it with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 29.28. Robert was second with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 29.93. Stuart was third with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 30.23. Chris Cherry was fourth with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 31.27. I was fifth with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 31.58. And John Dean was sixth with 9 laps and a fastest lap of 32.49. So yeah guys, first time running this car. Hope you've enjoyed this video. More to come as we slowly tune these cars in. I'll be doing videos and updates of what I do to change it. Trying to get a bit more into it, learning as we go. But as always, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah.